Can we just all go ahead and confess right now that we project onto God? That we all project onto God. Okay. So that was my conviction. My conviction both last night and today. I confess, but how I be projecting onto God. Like, we do this based on how we parent. And if you're a parent, you should understand. This might hit home for you. Oftentimes, we can think that God is limited based off of our own limitations and how we show up for our own children and or what we are able to do for our own children. We will project. We will automatically, this is, oh my God, I cannot wait. So if you guys didn't get a chance to see my live, which I'm so proud of myself, okay, God, not proud as in like pride, but like proud that I stepped out of my comfort zone and your girl did TikTok live today. Oh my God. So if you didn't catch that, it's okay, because I am going to like break it down into segments and you guys will be seeing it on my, y'all gonna get that word, okay? But it was just speaking to emotional intelligence, right? So if you guys don't know and you are new here, I'm Latara and I am a life coach, and that includes mindset, that includes emotional intelligence, okay? And so that's the conversation that me and God have been having lately. God, as in Yahweh, have been having lately is about emotional intelligence. And this is in one way that we project onto God, because we know that God has emotions, yes? But there is a difference between emotion and feeling. And so often we don't either have this understanding, this awareness, or we just don't know the difference. So let's talk about that real quick, the difference. So emotion is a raw, pure, say, reaction to a present stimulation or situation. I'll say that again. It's a raw, pure reaction reaction or stimulation to the present moment or a present situation. This is why we call emotion virgins, because they're pure. They've not yet been defiled. All right. And this is why that's so important. Because when we start to judge the emotion, it becomes feeling. That feeling is often based off of a past experience, aka that judgment of that emotion in which you are feeling is based off of a past experience. So you can easily see how you go from what you are feeling, or rather what you are, the experience that you are having that is provoking an emotion in this right now moment, to judging it based off of a past experience that takes you to the past, and it now becomes a feeling. And this is why we cannot trust our feelings, but you can trust your emotion. And so this is that virgin that has not been defiled. The moment that you begin to judge the emotion based off of your own understanding, your own wisdom, your own knowledge, you are defiling it based off of a past experience. Traumatic. Can we just say trauma bond? Did you even know that you can have a trauma bond with your thoughts? Like, tisk. And I was convicted. Because God gave me this awareness, and clearly he was like, Latara, I need you to stop projecting, beloved. You are projecting your past experiences onto me because I am making you have certain emotions that you are not sure as to what is stimulating you to feel this way. And because you are only going based off of what you know, judgment, because we only can judge based off what we know, you're projecting onto me instead of just asking me what it is that you're meant to learn from this emotion. And so, like, there are times, like, just being a little vulnerable, there have been times where I've had an adult conversation with my young children, expecting that they would understand. And when they did not understand, I thought to myself that I did not do a good job at explaining judgment. Or I didn't do I wasn't efficient in breaking that concept down so that they could understand. I automatically went into self-persecution. And so whenever I myself have an emotion and I don't necessarily understand it, I guess I sometimes expect that God would feel how I felt trying to explain to my children who had not and did not have my same level of awareness and wisdom, and how maybe God would feel inadequate trying to explain the emotion projection. And so oftentimes this is one of the reasons why we do not go to God. We do not ask God because we do not want to be a burden to God. Have you ever thought about that too? Like, one of the main reasons why you may not pray, one of the main reasons why you may not ask is because either you feel like you're burdening God, and or you feel as if God will not understand your request, and or you also may feel that if God's answers are always yes and amen. God don't really tell us no. Although he gives us boundaries, God really don't tell us no. He does tell us yes and amen, but he does not rarely ever tell us no. Even when the children of Israel were like, you should have just left us in Egypt. We could have died in the wilderness. Why not just have us die there? We can just die here. He gave them exactly what they asked for. He didn't say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. He just said, okay, yes and amen. I got you. I'm going to make that happen for you. And so, all jokes aside, no, that is a true story. Okay. All jokes aside, we often don't want to ask God because we do not want to be responsible for whatever it is he tells us we have to do to receive that thing. We don't want the work that comes with the yes. Think about it like this. Your child asks you, Mommy, Daddy, can I get $50? I want to be able to buy this game. And you say, sure, why not? I give you $50. But you got to clean out the garage. You have to make sure that your room is clean and do those dishes and take out that trash all before I give you $50. Now, unless that child really wants that, child gonna be like, man, I knew if I asked, they were gonna give me a to-do list in order for me to earn the $50. Although you told them yes. And this is the same thing we do to God. We may not ask because we don't want to do the work that comes with the yes. And or let's look at it another way. Let's say that your child came to you and they asked you for something before. And in all honesty, the timing wasn't right. You did not have it to give. It was just not in your ability. So you had to tell them no. This is another reason why we may not ask God, because we're still basing our connection and relationship and our limitations, we're projecting them on God. So it's like, I'm not going to ask because what if he doesn't have it? What if he can't do that for me? And God told me this is what I was doing to God. He said, you're projecting and I don't appreciate it. I don't like that. And so I'm calling you out if you've done this too. I'm calling you out because God called me out and we are brothers and sisters. Okay?